Welcome back to the 30-Day Psalm Challenge. I hope you're enjoying this series and finding times of respite and renewal as you delve into the life of the psalmist. Today is the 10th in this series, and what I'm going to share with you is the 10th reason to read the Psalms every day of your life, and that's this. They tell us the story of Scripture. If you want a refresher on some good biblical history, look no further than the Psalms. Many people think the Psalms are only written by David. While some were written by David, or some scholars say in the tradition of David, there are many other writers that contribute, such as Asaph, the sons of Korah, Solomon, Ethan, and Heman. And the Psalms are not the result of one generation, but many, and were written over the course of hundreds of years. But a key part of our reading of these great scriptures is that they emphasize Israel's reflection of their own history. They create memories of the events that preceded them and highlight the faithful work of God throughout. This again is where it's helpful to look at what the reformer Martin Luther said about the Psalms when he said, the Psalms are the mini Bible. They form, among other things, a collective memory which helps ground people in their own identity, in their own faith. If you look at Psalm 78, you get a great review of history, biblical history. This psalm goes all the way back to the Exodus, to the 40 years in the desert, the entry into the promised land, and eventual height of Israel's success to the rise of David. If you look at Psalm 105, it starts even before Moses. It looks to the patriarch of Judaism and Christianity, Abraham, and then Isaac and Jacob, the heirs of God's promises. And if you look at Psalms 106, 107, 114, 135, and 136, they too tell the story of God's people. All of these Psalms I just mentioned are referred to by scholars as the historical Psalms for the simple reason they recall the history of God's people. Some of you who are less inclined to be learners of history might ask, why is any of this important? Well, for one, this history is yours. As a follower of Christ, you share in his history, as he himself proclaimed that he is the great I Am, the name for the Hebrew God in the Bible, and also King of the Jews. In other words, Lord of all. Further, and of more importance, you are a part of a larger story. You are invited into a narrative greater than your own. You are in these stories. You are God's redeemed. You are an heir to the promises of God. You are God's chosen. You are God's beloved. So whether you're into history or not, look at a few of the Psalms I referenced earlier. Consider, why are these moments important? And where are you in them? Are you not a Moses, feeling woefully inadequate to fulfill the great things God has called you to? Are you not an Abraham, comfortable in the land of Ur and then called by God to do something beyond your own capability? Am I not flawed like both of these characters? Am I not like them, struggling, stumbling, striving, and yet saved? These stories matter. They remind us of who we are and the one who called us. See you tomorrow.